Hello, my name is Gunther Wellenstein. I'm the Solid Waste and Recycling Coordinator for the City of Lowell, and I'm here to give you tips and information that you need to recycle right. Let's start off by looking at a video from the Mass DEP to learn about some common problems at the recycling facility.
Biggest contamination issue, I would say it would be food.
Comida, ropa y aparatos electrónicos.
Hoses, ropes, extension cords, Christmas lights, tarps. I would ask the people to focus on what is recyclable and what is not.
As you just saw, recycling facility workers see a variety of problems every day that can be solved by simply learning what you can and cannot put into your recycling cart. Clothing and other textiles are more commonly seen at recycling facilities and should never be put into your recycling cart. These items include clothing accessories like belts, ties, jewelry, and even handbags, shoes, curtains, towels, sheets, and blankets. Pillows and tarps are also acceptable at drop-off. Another very common contaminant in recycling is textile. And a textile is a generic name for everything that's made out of cloth. And here are some examples. But bedding, curtains, towels, clothing, as long as they're clean and dry, they are very, very desirable in the market for textiles, but not in your curbside cart. There are drop-off locations. All 13 elementary schools have a drop-off bin, but you'll find Planet Aid and other brand textile bins throughout your city. So a couple of examples: as long as it's dry and clean, the ball cap is great, towels are functional. All of these items you can certainly consider for donation. The Lowell Wish Project, St. Vincent de Paul, Savers will take these if they're usable. But once they are torn, once they are stained, then you want to put them into the donation bin. And it's clean and dry, worn and torn is acceptable. And you know that 40% of textiles are not getting recovered in the system. So put them in a bag. Bring the bag to one of the drop-off containers, and it will get processed either domestically or internationally. And if not as a piece of clothing, goes back out as fibers and insulation and other products. So absolutely, recycle your textiles, but not in your curbside carts. With spring coming, a lot of people might get the urge to do some spring cleaning around their home. This means giving your home a thorough clean, and in the process, you might get rid of items you no longer have a use for. If your unwanted items are still in good condition, they can be donated, recycled, and repurposed by someone else. Even though they cannot go in your curbside recycling cart, there may be a neighborhood collection box conveniently located throughout Lowell for your donation. Check out the textile recycling page at lowellrecycle.org to find the drop-off location near you. Locations include the Bailey Elementary, the Green Alge, the Lowell Department of Public Works, the McAuliffe Elementary, McAvenue, and the Moody School. Morey Elementary, the Merkland Elementary, Pawtucketville, and the Riley Elementary, Shaughnessy, and the Washington, and even the STEM Academy. You'll find them at the Lowell Collegiate Charter School also. Now let's take a look at how to recycle glass items correctly. Glass and food beverage bottles and jars, like those on display, can be put into your recycling cart. Today's topic on Recycle Right is about glass recycling. Glass is a very useful resource, and we want to make sure that we collect it properly for diversion and properly for the recycling facility. So we're going to have two displays. One, samples of what is acceptable in your curbside recycling, and another for what is not acceptable in your curbside recycling. So let's go to what kind of glass items we do want in your curbside recycling. From the acceptable category, we have glass bottles like this wine bottle or sangria bottle. This is perfect, but no cork, please. The cork is a contaminant in your recycling. And another category from tomato sauces and salsas, clean glass, empty, and reattach the lid. You might also have beer bottles that are glass, all the colors, green, brown, and clear glass is acceptable. This was from Herbs and Spices, and we have mason jars. Remember, all of this glass, food and beverage glass, is acceptable as long as it's clean and dry. So here we have quite a few examples of what kind of glass is not acceptable in your recycling. Primarily things like the candle, since there's still material in it, we do not want to include that in recycling. Anything that is a serving vessel, so this glass mug would not be acceptable in curbside recycling. And likewise, serving vessels, these glass bowls. And then we go into a category of things that would be ceramic. So the soup bowl and the coffee mug are actually ceramic and not glass, and not acceptable in your curbside recycling. And then we have a cereal bowl and breakfast dishes. Because these are ceramic, they would not be acceptable in your curbside recycling. And really, most importantly, we do not want anything that is hazardous material. So light bulbs, even LEDs and compact fluorescent light bulbs may have glass in them, but they're not acceptable in your curbside recycling. These would actually be part of a drop-off. In terms of these items that are clean and functional, you might want to consider donating them. St. Vincent de Paul and Savers are some options. Check out the website lowellrecycle.org for donation options. All you have to do to prepare them is empty and rinse. Please remember that broken glass, drinking glasses, Pyrex, ceramic mugs, and dishes, including mirrors and light bulbs and window glass, cannot be put into your recycling. These items must be put in the trash, or if they're still in good condition, they can be donated to one of the many nearby locations, Goodwill or even Savers. With spring coming, people are going to start spring cleaning. Let's go over what you can and cannot put out for yard waste collection, and how you should prepare it. Although there may be other large or unnatural items in your yard under the snow, you should only be putting loose leaves, grass, and brush out for curbside collection. To prepare your loose leaves, grass, or brush for collection, they should be put into a paper lawn and leaf bag, or a labeled barrel with handles, or bundled with non-metallic twine. Yard waste should not be put in boxes or plastic bags for collection. Unlike your other curbside collection, yard waste is collected manually or by hand instead of the automated machines. Because of this, all yard waste containers or bundles should weigh less than 35 pounds and should have no items longer than 3 feet in length. So one of the things that comes up in March is the beginning of yard waste collection for our curbside customers. And I know there's still snow on the ground, but we want to prepare for the first week of yard waste collection. If you're not sure what day is the day for your neighborhood, the best thing is to download our free app called Lowell Recycle and enter your street address, and you will have the collection day and yard waste collection for the spring. One of the things that we do ask is that residents get a free sticker. They're available at the health department, at the senior center, at DPW, and even city hall offices to put onto your barrel, not the city barrel, the trash or the recycling barrel, but a trash barrel that designates it for grass, leaves, and brush. The other container that is acceptable for yard waste collection is a paper lawn and leaf bag, and you'll find that at the hardware store, at a supermarket, and put this out for curbside collection on your curbside collection day. Items within the bundle should not be bigger than 3 inches in diameter. When your yard waste is collected, it is taken to a composting facility, so you should keep non-compostable items out of your yard waste. And this includes items like logs or tree trunks, and other non-natural items like boards or fence material and even metal. Rocks and boulders don't belong in your yard waste, and things like dirt, sod, loam will make your bags very heavy, so those should be at a minimum. You could actually choose to compost your yard waste in your own backyard. Mass DEP says that composting can reduce up to 700 pounds of waste per year. If you are looking for a way to make use of your yard waste, consider composting with the Earth Machine. Composting does not have to be complicated. You just collect your yard and kitchen debris and place in this dark, humid location that allows the organic waste to decompose into nutrient-rich soil. Yard and kitchen waste you can compost with leaves, grass, and weeds. You can also compost fruit and vegetable scraps, as well as other foods like coffee grounds, tea bags, and even eggshells. The Earth Machine makes the process of composting simple and as easy as a passive composter. All you have to do is throw your compostable yard and kitchen waste into the bucket, add a little bit of water, and occasionally stir. After about 4 to 6 months, the compost will have turned into nutrient-rich soil that can be used to enhance your garden, lawn, and even houseplants. Composting can also reduce your garden water bill by 30% and can reduce your garbage by 30% as well. To learn more about composting and where to get the Earth Machine, check out the composting link on lowellrecycle.org. Lowell Yard Waste Collection begins March 11th on your regular trash day. Lowell residents can get up to 3 free yard waste barrels, and these can be picked up at the Department of Public Works on Middlesex Street, City Hall, the Senior Center, or even the Health Department. Remember to look back at how to recycle yard waste right to avoid up to $200 fines for improperly leaving items out for collection. Lowell residents may also be interested in an upcoming movie screening sponsored by the Solid Waste and Recycling Office. As part of the Lowell Parks and Conservation Trust Eco-Film Series, the Landfill Harmonic will be playing at the National Park Visitor Center on Market Street on April 30th at 6:30 p.m. Please save the date.
¿Entienden? Bueno, entonces tienen que atender.
Mi nombre es Víctor, toco el cello.
Mi nombre es Ada Maribel Ríos Bogado y toco el violín.
Ahí va.
A group of kids in Paraguay actually made all of the instruments out of trash.
Look at this. That's a fork, people.
Let the gift of music shine through tonight on that stage.
Tune in for next month's episode of Recycle Right to learn more about this movie. Before we wrap up, remember and share these general rules to make sure you aren't just recycling, but actually recycling right. Most bottles, cans, jars, and jugs, and paper can always be put into your recycling cart. Empty and flatten boxes before putting them in the bin, and empty and rinse containers before putting them out for recycling. Don't forget to keep plastic bags, other tanglers, clothing, bulky items, and hazardous material out of your recycling cart. Items like plastic bags, tanglers, clothing, big items, broomsticks, for example, and hazardous items are not allowed in the recycling. And if you're not sure if an item can go in the bin, then check out the guide at lowellrecycle.org. Don't forget to follow us on social media, Twitter at Lowell Recycle, and Facebook. And for YouTube for tips and updates. Thank you for joining me on another episode of Recycle Right.